Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Dawn Michael, and today we're going to be talking about arguing with your spouse. And I'm going to give you some really great tips. And one of them is once the name calling starts, where you start calling each other names, the argument has ended. It's no longer an argument about what you started with, but it becomes a screaming match, a yelling match, a who's going to win the argument now and do it in the dirtiest way. And this can take place face to face, it can take place over an email. Many couples do it while they're texting, which I would say is probably the worst way to get in an argument because you can always go back and see what horrible things that you have said to each other. And one other thing is when couples do get in this pissy match, is what I call it, many times they'll bring up stuff from the past and throw it in the person's face. And the reality is, what do you end up resolving by doing this? I mean, what really happens is you hurt each other's feelings, you create a distance, and sometimes things that come out of your mouth you cannot take back, and they may be damaging to your relationship in the long run. I mean, we don't realize it, but words are very powerful. And once they're spoken, you can't put the genie back in the box, especially if you've written it in a text, because the person can read it and it becomes a living document, so to speak. You've just expressed your emotions in writing, which can be used against you later on, and which the person can read over and over again, and the feelings can come up. I do suggest if either one of you have gotten into a terrible pissy match on a text message that you both erase it once you get past the argument and you resolve things so that neither one of you are dredging up these hurt feelings from the past and again throwing it in each other's faces during another heated argument. So with that being said, it's extremely important to not name call, to not put each other down, and to not bring up past issues when you get in a fight with your spouse. Now, all people fight. You're all gonna, at some point in your relationship, disagree on something. And it's the way that you resolve that disagreement will be the longevity of your relationship, meaning that is your relationship going to last? Is it going to be a happy relationship? Is it going to be a healthy relationship? Because the two of you chose to be with one another, meaning that you made a choice to be with that person and that person made a choice to be with you. So all the negative, crappy things that they're saying about you is really a reflection of, what kind of choice did they make? Did they make a choice to be with the right person? Did you make a choice to be with the right person? So you really have to think of it in terms of the marriage itself. I know our egos get involved. I know people get hurt. I know they get overheated. I know they say things in the moment that are not very nice, but you can't take those things back. So what can you do? The most important thing is if you feel like you're just so heated and so upset, you gotta take a deep breath. You gotta back away from the situation. You gotta disengage. Stop whatever you're doing. If you're on the text thing going back and forth, stop doing that. Put away your phone. If you do get in a heated argument, the best thing to do is to also try to apologize quickly. Don't let it go on for days at a time. You know, some couples do this and they think that, the time going by is going to make everything better and just kind of wipe it under the carpet. But that doesn't happen. It really just creates resentment. The other problem is the argument doesn't get resolved. So it comes up again and again and again and again. So you have to find a way to resolve the argument, to come up with a plan, to figure out what you're going to do. And I will say, sometimes certain arguments can't be resolved. And so there has to be some give and take where, okay, you may not be happy with one part of it, and your spouse may not be happy with one part of it, but for the sake of the marriage, you choose the best path to try to deal with the situation. And it can be with anything. Most of the time, couples want you to agree with their decision. So if they make a decision about something or they feel a certain way about it, they want the other person to agree with them, to understand them, to, basically take their side with it. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you just have to be with, okay, I feel this way, my spouse feels this way, and we have to respect each other's decisions, and we have to do our best not to put it in their face or not to allow it to ruin the relationship. Because if you continue to fight about the same thing over and over again without any resolution and without any agreement to disagree, then it could eventually destroy what you have built up together. And never name call. That is the one thing that will get you in trouble. Don't allow yourself to get out of control. Don't say horrible things to each other. Don't text each other horrible things. Really try to refrain from doing all of that. I know it's hard in the heat of the moment, but it really, truly will help to save your marriage, will help to create better feelings towards each other, and in the future, it can help you get past other situations and learn how to work through other situations if you stay calm and you try to be at least polite with each other as you're getting in a disagreement, or at least contain the blaming. Because the minute you start blaming the other person or putting the other person or putting the other person down, that person's shut down. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to put their shield up, or they're going to put their fighting gloves up. Either one's going to happen. They're going to completely disengage from you, or they're going to fight you back. And so it doesn't help to put someone else in a corner. What helps is to own how you're feeling about it. Talk about, how you feel and how it upsets you, rather than putting it on them. You'll get much further with that. Another technique is to say, I'm having a problem with this. Can you help me with this? Let's figure out a way to resolve it, or at least to agree not to agree and get on with our lives. Okay, I hope this marriage tip has helped you. It's helped a lot of couples who have some issues with communication and resolving problems. And if you practice it over time, it can make your marriage much happier place to be in, because who wants to come home to somebody who's always aggravated at them, or who wants to enjoy a great intimate experience with another person who you've been fighting with? It really doesn't make for that closeness that couples really want to achieve in their marriage, or the good feelings that you have for each other. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share my videos, and of course, leave your comment. I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life, and so do you.